Anna Mae Florence was the kind of person you couldn't forget, full of life with big dreams and an infectious energy that drew people in. But one evening, her story took a tragic turn. When her sister Lily and brother-in-law Alonzo arrived at her apartment, an unsettling feeling crept over them. Anna Mae hadn't been answering her phone, and now, standing in the doorway of her silent home, dread settled in. They called her name, their voices echoing through the stillness. No answer. As they stepped inside, their eyes were drawn to the chaos. A toppled chair, a shattered picture frame. Then, in an instant, their worst fears were realized. Anna Mae lay motionless on the floor. Lily rushed to her, her breath catching in her throat as she whispered her sister's name, willing her to wake up. Alonzo fumbled for his phone, hands shaking as he dialed emergency services. The world as they knew it had just shattered. Detectives arrived, combing through the crime scene for anything that could explain what had happened. A bloody fingerprint stood out, a crucial piece of evidence, yet frustratingly incomplete. The case was already proving to be a challenge. There was no surveillance footage, no immediate suspects. Witnesses spoke of a young woman seen in the area shortly before Anna Mae's death, asking for money, but the details were murky. Time was slipping away, and with it, the hope of quick answers. Then came the tip. An anonymous caller, a man named Odell, claimed he had seen someone acting suspiciously near Anna Mae's apartment that night. He hesitated at first, his voice laced with uncertainty. But as detectives pressed him, the story began to unravel. There was someone he believed might have been involved. With this new lead, investigators pushed forward, hoping they were finally closing in. Days later, a routine traffic stop changed everything. A woman named Danita caught the officers' attention, her nervous demeanor, the way she avoided eye contact. They took her fingerprints, comparing them to the evidence found at the crime scene. But just as hope built, it crumbled. The prints didn't match. The frustration was mounting, the case slipping through their fingers once again. Then, another revelation. Odell wasn't just a random informant. He had ties to someone close to Anna Mae. When detectives confronted him, the weight of the truth cracked his resolve. His voice wavered as he admitted he'd been protecting someone, Zena Robertson. Suddenly, the pieces began falling into place. Zena had a history with Anna Mae, a connection tangled in secrets, and when investigators finally confronted her, the evidence spoke louder than words. Her fingerprints were there, at the scene where Anna Mae's life had been stolen. For Anna Mae's family, the pain of loss never faded. But as the truth came to light, there was at least the hope of justice. Every step of the investigation, the dead ends, the breakthroughs, the desperate search for answers, was a testament to the people who refused to let her story be forgotten. As we remember Anna Mae, we also recognize the families still waiting for justice in countless unsolved cases. Every story like hers deserves to be told, and every voice demanding the truth brings us one step closer to finding it. If this case moved you, share it. Keep the conversation going. Because stories like Anna Mae's shouldn't just fade into the dark. They deserve to be heard.